Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticons. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a Transformers television podcast going through the history of Transformers on TV, but not in chronological order. I'm Audrey, one of your hosts.
And I'm the other host, Nero.
Plot!
It's Big Boy season!
Yeah. Oh Lord,
yeah,
he
sure,
coming!
Plot exists, we're learning more about the central mystery. But who cares? There's a real big guy who's here now.
I like big boys, even bigger boys. Big boys.
It's tidal wave time, or as he is in the sub, shockwave.
Yeah.
And these episodes were pretty good. They were a lot of fun.
Hmm?
If you like to see Optimus getting shot a whole lot,
Yeah.
These are your episodes.
I will say, the damage, I mean, this is something that is fairly consistent, not only within this series, or not, I mean, the whole point is that it's inconsistent, but fairly common not only in this series, but throughout the Transformers franchise, but the power of a single bullet varies pretty wildly.
Yeah, there's a lot of, it feels like these guys who have guns that are meant to, kill giant robots should be able to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, it's kind of plinking off of it. It's horse plinkoing off of it. Should we get into it?
Yeah, I think we should get into it with the first episode on our docket here, which is, I believe, 28,
Yep.
Awakening in the dub.
In the sub, it is Strong Arm Shockwave.
He is strong. That's true. So we start off exactly where we left off in 27. We got this battle on a beach between the Autobots and the Decepticons. No one's really able to gain the upper hand, but then big-ass boat comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. The relationship, I don't know what it's like in the dub, but the relationship between Thrust and Shockwave in the sub is kind of weird.
I mean, mostly he just seems to command Tidal Wave around in the dub. There's no special relationship. He just seems to be one of his troops.
That's sort of what it is. I feel like there is the sense of Shockwave almost isn't as sentient as the others.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of that sense too in the dub, but that's because at first he's just presented as a boat.
Right.
Thrust says Tidal Wave has arrived with reinforcements, and you're not sure if is Tidal Wave a guy? Is he a ship? Is he in the ship?
Yeah.
It turns out no, he is the ship. In fact, he has 3 ships. We should talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about Tidal Wave's toy, because it's one of the coolest Armada toys out there.
Can we save that until he becomes the 3 ships?
Yes, he will
because
become 3 ships.
When he becomes the
point.
3 ships is very good, and I do want us to talk about it in the moment without giving anyone ideas preceding it.
For now, he is just one very large ship, and he is covered in guns, which is bad news for the Autobots.
Yeah.
So basically he slides down this sand dune, ends up in the ocean, and just starts unloading on the Autobots here. And back at base, all the kids are watching this going, "Oh fuck, that's a big guy. Uh-oh.
We're gonna need it. We're gonna need a bigger boat."
I don't know if you can find a bigger boat. I think this is the biggest boat.
This is the Ever Given.
Tidal Wave is the Ever Given here to block the Suez Canal. So things aren't looking good. They're being pelted by turret fire here. But then, Blur and Hotshot get an idea to do some fucking stunts. And they do some crazy shit.
Yeah. It is sweet that they're still sort of no thoughts head empty. But at least they're no thoughts head empty together now and not fighting each other.
They're bros. They combine with their minicons to do some fucking underwater demolition on Tidal Wave here. Well, at first we don't see what they're doing. They just go in the water and everyone just The fuck are they doing? What's going on? I believe Thrust breaks off to kind of fire at them, and then Jetfire goes and performs some goddamn jet judo on him.
Yeah, again, sort of the drama of ex-lovers
The
here
classic.
again.
So, at some point during this sequence, Hotshot does directly call Thrust a conehead.
Does he really? That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, in the dub, he calls him a conehead.
I'm glad. Okay, good.
Which, by the way, there was a shot in when he first commands Tidal Wave. We see a shot of his head, and it is longer than usual. His head looks obscene in that shot. It should be pixelated, I think. I don't like it.
Yeah, I was like, God, fuck, who does he remind me of? And he reminds me of the worm guy who works for the Mafia in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh my god.
You know who I'm talking
you're
about,
right.
right?
Yeah, I think I've seen that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look up his name. But, I was like, oh, fuck, that's what it is. Because he has that, same cone head and also is just unpleasant to look at.
In this shot, it looks like he's wearing a really weird hat, too. Because, the glass in his cockpit is sort of his forehead. But then there's this extra layer of whatever. It looks like he's wearing, a rubber swim cap or something.
I try. It's kind of like Cthulhu. I try to avoid maintaining eye contact with him as much as possible.
That's a good idea. Well, he also tries to avoid eye and arm contact with Jetfire by becoming intangible, which is apparently something he can do, in addition to becoming invisible.
Well, sure.
I don't know how he can do this.
He's just stolen everyone's outlier ability, actually. He's
So,
he's
back
the
on the
rogue.
base-
He's the rogue of Armada.
I thought he was the tactician.
No, I
think
mean, Rogue is in the X-Men.
Right. I just don't think he should be allowed to multi-class. That seems OP, especially when no one else on the Decepticons
Yeah,
can do
we've
that.
literally just gotten Sword and Board down. This guy has read the PHB front to back. He has an unfair advantage.
So, during all of this, back at the base, Alexis is like, oh, fuck. 2 more minicons are awakening. Because, of course, they were already fighting over 1. 2 more have awakened. One of them is floating really high up in the air, and the other one appears to be completely frozen no matter which way she rotates the map. Which means that one of them is inside the base.
Girl, help! The call is coming from inside the house.
Meanwhile, while everyone back at base is going, uh-oh, what the fuck is going on here? Blur and Hotshot manage to capsize Tidal Wave with some underwater missile strikes. And Megatron just looks at Thrust and goes, okay, well, that was your big special boy? 'Cause it looks like he got completely owned.
You sunk my battleship!
And Thrust is like, this never happens to my battleships, Megatron. Don't worry. I can fix it. This never happens to me. And then he gets on the comms and says, Tidal Wave, you need to get up right now. You were making me look very, very bad in front of Megatron. I need you to get up right now and start doing things again.
It's it is the closest we've seen Thrust to having a full-fledged breakdown so far, which is pretty good.
We've seen so he's been around for a few episodes. We've seen some good plans. This plan is literally just big. Call Big Man. That's his plan.
To be fair, it's a pretty good plan. Shockwave's a beast.
Yeah, he is very hard to deal with. Even when he significantly shrinks between episodes, as he is wont to do. We'll
listen,
get there.
what is scale?
It's not quite as bad as what happened to G1 Omega Supreme in certain shots, but that we'll get there eventually. But yeah, so he escapes the abyss of the ocean simply by transforming into his robot mode and floating above the water. Which once again makes everyone go, oh shit.
Is that allowed?
So while everyone on the beach is just, shitting their pants, Red Alert and Alexis are trying to figure out this minicon situation, and then they get a helpful Skype call from our good friend Sideways.
This is one of the funniest conversations that we've had so far.
What does he say in the sub?
So oh god, what is he talking about at first? So he's like, "Sup, it's me, your boy, Demons," and Alexa and Ratchet are both like, "Why are you here? Please, please, could you just leave our asses alone?"
Why?
And Doubleface is like, yeah, so looks like you could use some help. And it's like, he's like, man, damn, if only there was like something that could help you. I wonder what it could be. And Alexa's like, are you talking about the Astro Blaster? and Doubleface is like, I am talking about the Astro Blaster. You're so smart, Alexa. And he's like, I really admire you. And Alexa's like, great. Didn't ask. Like, don't care, didn't ask. Also get ratioed. And literally Ratchet's like, is that Doubleface? He's talking about a gun. Blam blam!
Yeah, so in the dub, it is the Requiem Blaster.
Better name.
Much cooler name. And yeah, he's basically just pops in and says, hey, guess what? I bet you're real worried about your boys down on the beach, right? Well, what if I told you there was a gun that could kill God, and you were sitting on one of the guys who can make it right now? And everyone's just like, all right, well, you're obvious. Well, how are we gonna trust you, Sideways, known betrayer of everyone? They're like, whose side are you on? And he's like, you can ask me that, or you can get those guys and save your friends. It's really up to you, you know.
Okay, in the sub, it's much funnier. In the sub, we get one of the, in my opinion, the funniest lines in the series so far, where they're like, whose side are you on? And Doubleface looks at him and he goes, my name is Doubleface. Like, get a clue. My name, like, he's like,
how can you guess?
He's like, my name is Doubleface. I'm literally the person with two faces. Bye.
Bye.
It's the funniest thing. He just says with his whole pussy that he's two-faced. I'm obsessed with him.
He's fucking great. And then, so yeah, Alexis is like, well, he was obviously lying, right? We can't trust him. And Red Alert goes, he doesn't really have a reason to lie. Plus, everyone's dying out there, so
yeah,
we should probably go look for that minicon.
It cuts back over to the beach where the music video for Blinding Lights by The Weeknd is playing.
Tidal Wave is just walking forward and shooting all of the guns on his chest, and no one can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I
it.
want to say that he has nipple gatlings, but he doesn't. He has like an entire chest of gatlings. Like,
he has like a tank top covered in guns.
Yeah, and they are blinded by the light.
Yep. So the boys and the Street Action team go to explore the caves beneath the base to find this minicon, while Alexis and Red Alert monitor the situation from the control room. And apparently the Autobase has had like spooky catacombs this entire time.
Well, you know, it's like crashed into the side of a mountain or something. I forget actually what the Ark looks like in Armada.
Well, the Autobase is like built out of the wrecked minicon Ark, which is buried in a mountain.
So yeah.
But I'm not sure if like the base portion of it was transported there or if they like repurposed it. But yeah, but they're in the wrecked portion of the minicon Ark.
Listen, it's like Meteora in Greece. It's just built right into the rock, you know.
Which, I should say, during the point where Tidal Wave is blinding them with the lights, we cut to Megatron standing on a cliff, and he just goes, "My word, now that is what I call a fine-tuned piece of military machinery. Yes." So he's enjoying it. Maybe a little too much. I think you should calm down,
Sickos.
Megatron.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's, like, basically every time we cut to the beach, it's just more shots of all of the Autobots getting fucking pounded by laser fire. We cut back to the spooky times at the Autobase. Fred ends up finding the minicon panel when he falls down a hole.
Wow. Incredible work as always.
Good job, Fred. And they wake the minicon up, but this minicon is like very skittish and standoffish and doesn't really seem too jazzed about being awake.
I do want to talk about the way it looks because it has 4 legs, 3 Vaganyas, maybe more.
This is Blastoff, by the way. This one. And interestingly enough, the Requiem Blaster minicons, the space team, I think, are one of the minicon teams that get the most focus and characterization other than the straight action team. Because they're all basically the Iron Giant, and that they make a gun that can kill God, and they don't want to be a gun that can kill God. Because they don't like to shoot people.
Yeah, they all said become ungovernable.
Which is why Blastoff, runs away from them after being awakened. He literally shoots at them with his little rocket arm and then runs away. Meanwhile, Jet Convoy, Jetfire, and Optimus combine up and try to fight Tidal Wave, but he gets smoked completely.
Yeah, he gets more smoked in the next episode, but
He
gets increasingly smoked, but he's not. He doesn't do great. There's just like a lot of concentrated laser fire on Optimus.
Which, to be fair, he is the most dangerous guy there. So I guess that's good on Thrust's part to be like, all right, I need to plan for when those two assholes combine, because that really fucked me up last time.
Yeah, that really harshes my vibe. Yucks my yum.
Yeah, so we end with Tidal Wave steadily advancing and the kids chasing down Blastoff. Also, the narrator calls him Shockwave at the end because they can't keep things straight.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's true, but that is true. However, earlier, Carlos also calls Grindor Highwire, so, still getting those three mixed up
50-50,
somehow.
50-50, baby.
It is a 50-50 chance. Usually Highwire is the one who doesn't get mixed up.
Right.
But we got one here.
Right.
So yeah, just shit's bad. Next one, direct continuation from this, episode 29, which is called Desperate in the dub.
I actually love the title for this one. It's A Song of Sympathy.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we get farther along in the show, things are getting far less episodic. There are more episodes that connect to each other and have a plot running through them, which is always good to see. So we kind of open in on the base catacombs. They're still chasing Blastoff, who is still shooting at them. They're trying to wrangle him. They're trying to get him to cooperate, but for some reason, he seems like he doesn't want to go with them.
I mean, he does more than seem like he doesn't want to go with them. He actively shoots at them.
So, as soon as we cut back to the base, after Blastoff is I forget if he doesn't connect to Rad yet, right? Because eventually
not yet.
His emotional connection to Rad.
So they try to approach him, and he shoots at them to get them back, and they're like, what the fuck?
So we cut back to the beach, and already
Disco
Tidal Wave has
Inferno!
become smaller. Already Tidal Wave has become smaller.
But he is still everyone's favorite disco ball.
Oh yes. So he has gone from the size of a 2-story building to a head and shoulders over Jet Optimus at this point, which is still big. That's still pretty big. It's just not as big. So yeah, they Smokescreen deploys the Skyboom shield, and Shockwave or Tidal Wave punches it, and things are still looking quite bad.
Yeah. One thing I noticed here actually is that we start getting more close-ups of Shockwave's face at the beginning of these episodes, and man, he has them Overlord lips, huh?
Yeah, he has very luscious lips. That's also something I noticed in this episode too. I was like,
he's double-lipped up on a Sunday night.
Megatron, I present to you the fearsome Tidal Wave and his luscious lips.
Yeah.
Not sure why that detail is important, but okay.
Oh, but it is. But, yeah, so, Grap gets the Skyboom shield to Optimus, and they try to do, some hit-and-run tactic somehow. Someone else engages Shockwave. I think it's Hot Rod. Exactly, you were just saying that. A Hot Rod, and he gets the Skyboom shield to the Cosmotector to Hot Rod, and Hot Rod's, like, going under the weight when, like, Jet Convoy swoops down and kicks him off. And it goes, like, back to base where Alexa and Ratchet are watching, and Alexa's like, no, you can't just use the same strategies over and over again. They're going to kick you. I've been playing so much Stratego, and I'm this country's future Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, so here's a problem with shields, right? They only cover your front. So when Optimus gets trapped in yet another flurry from the Air Military Minicon team, and I believe also Cyclonus, he can't really shield himself properly from all of the fire because they're just spinning around him constantly. Also, at this point, Megatron, Thrust turns to Megatron's like, hey, listen, I know you've been looking at Jet Optimus and you're like very jealous that you don't have a cool super mode you can combine with. Well, if you'll look under your seat, I have a surprise for you. And Megatron goes, oh, you didn't. Oh, you shouldn't have. And then he combines with fucking Tidal Wave.
Yeah, so this is when we can talk about how Shockwave is 3 ships.
So, Tidal Wave is not a giant robot who turns into a giant ship, technically. He is a giant robot who turns into 3 distinct ships, which I believe are called the Dark Fleet, that can combine into one ship.
Or
and this was also
into a cool suit of armor.
Or into a cool suit of armor from Megatron. And this was probably, like, one of the coolest toys in the Armada line. He was huge. He did combine and out of the 3 ships. The one weird thing about Tidal Wave's toy is that it used, like, an early version of his coloration for his character model that ended up not being the final version. He's, like, kind of green and purple and gray. He's much more colorful than he ends up being. The Takara version of his toy is accurate to the cartoon in terms of coloration, but the tire here. Let me grab a Tidal Wave here, a picture of his toy, because it looks very, very different from the actual show. Here, I'll put this in Soundwave files for you. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Very bright. Yeah, very bright.
I hate that.
He's got a big old purple face.
It's it looks like much more like a Constructicon kind of concept.
Yeah, and here is the Takara version, which is, of course, much more show accurate because it was produced later.
Yeah.
That's Shockwave right there.
That's Shockwave. This is, shockingly, this is actually darker than Shockwave is.
Yes.
But
so he combines with Megatron. He's got boats strapped to him. The thing is, so Jetfire becomes pants. Megatron just has boats, like, strapped to him. I have to say,
like,
pretty much.
He looks like shit. It doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't look good. It's bad to look at. He's just become greebled.
He's so clunky. He's so, like, it looks like he's gonna fall over.
Like, literally, it just looks like they put him through greebleization.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. He's just become greebled. But
he can fly.
He can fly. This is probably the funniest. We've had a lot of pretty bad flying animation. This is probably the funniest I've seen.
Yeah.
Because rather than just, like, dragging an asset over a straight line, they, like, shake the asset up, like, unstably, to say, like, ooh, his power is so strong, and Megatron's like, I can fly! It's Peter Pan!
So he flies up there to say hello to Optimus and gloat how he has a cool super mode now, too, despite the fact that it looks much worse than Optimus' super mode. He also has the Star Saber, which will become important in a moment. We cut back to the base. So at this point, they have kind of calmed Blastoff down. Blastoff and Rad have formed a little bit of a connection, but he is still
through threat and violence, I should note. Like, Bumble combines. So they're all trying, like, they try to approach Blastoff again, and, like, Rad gets a little close, and Blastoff, like, shoots another thing off, and Rad's like, oh, he's just scared, like, we'll be okay, don't worry about it, and Bumble's like, fuck no. And Bumble's like, I want to kill. I'm a Micron and I want to kill.
He's got his fucking fist pulled back, ready to go.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, weirdly enough, the Straight Action team don't combine into Perceptor all that often. They don't. It's only happened a couple of times.
yeah. So, Bumble almost punches Blast off right in the face, but Rad's like, can you chill, please? Like, stop. And Bumble immediately Stockholm syndromes with Rad.
Yeah, so... Yeah, considering that Rad is the only one who wasn't either afraid of him or ready to deck him across the face, Blastoff is huddled behind Rad now.
I did think that this was, for a second, that... Because, like, Rad's like, no, it's fine, and then Blastoff sort of, like, comes up behind him in, like... And, like, looms over him. I did think that if for a minute that he was going to be like, no, it's fine, and then Blastoff was going to take him hostage.
Oh my god, just hold a gun to
Yeah,
his
literally,
head
that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, but thankfully that is no hostage situation develops. We go back to the control room, and Red Alert is watching Optimus get fucking owned, and is like, alright, I gotta go out there, I gotta help. And Alexa's like, wait. We gotta figure out this minicon shit. Like, we need to find the Requiem Blaster minicons, or else we're not gonna be able to do anything. So they're trying to get Blastoff to go into the field with them to help find them. He is not interested in doing so, but Rad's like, hey, listen, what if I go with you?
Yeah, so they all get into the back of Ratchet.
Well, in particular, it is Rad, Blastoff, and Carlos.
Right.
Billy and Fred and Alexis do not come. They're smart.
And also, Alexa is too busy maintaining complete strategic control of the battlefield.
Yeah, she's in the fucking control room. She's got all of her screens set up.
She has a game of Civ 5 running in the background.
Oh, you know it. So they warp into the battlefield here. This is the point where Smokescreen shoots the Skyboom shield up to Optimus. But not before Starscream pulls a very weird maneuver on Hotshot, or attempts to.
This looked so bad.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was half transformed on purpose, or if they forgot to draw him in robot mode.
I feel like you don't draw someone half transformed on accident. Like, I don't know how you do that.
But, like, he is in jet mode, but his head is popped up and his arm is out holding his wing sword. He's in a fucking, like, Jurwalk mode from Macross.
It's normal, actually.
So of course,
normal.
Hotcha goes, what the fuck is that? And shoots him out of the sky.
Well, no, he's about to get, like, fucked by Starscream, but,
Alright, is it Blur?
it's Devastator.
Right.
Who comes and saves him.
So Red Alert warps in and immediately thrusts, like, fucking zeros in and goes, hello.
Yeah.
I see a minicon over there.
What happens is that, like, again, Hot Rod... So Alexa, like, messages everyone on the Autobots team and is like, yo, Ratchet's coming to your location. He has a new Micron with him. Get to his location. And Hot Rod's like, I'm really busy here. Please. And then everything else happens. And as soon as Devastator sort of gets him free, he, like, makes a run for Ratchet, and thrust from his position in the air is like, that's very reckless. What is he, like, running towards? Or what is he trying to distract us from? And he, like, scans around the entire area, and then he spots Ratchet, and he's like, hello, I can kill a medic. Even I can kill a medic.
Time to get some sweet pics and add it to my frag collection.
Weird.
But then Blur tackles him out of the sky. And they roll around in the dirt for a little bit, like a couple of dirty boys.
And it's normal. And it's so normal. And everyone's having a really normal time.
There's some shots of these two and Devastator and Demolisher later. Those I forgot to screen cap, but I should have. I was like, what is happening here? What exactly is going on here?
but he manages, before that happens, Stress does manage to take Ratchet out. And he's about to get the kids as well when Hot Rod intercepts him. And then Silverbolt becomes a rough rowdy boy with him.
Yeah, he does a little bit of mud wrestling with him. Yeah, he nails Red Alert real good.
Yeah.
He knocks him out. Hotshot is a little bit luckier, but this entire time Carlos has been yelling at Blastoff to like stop being a fucking coward and do something. But Rad is like, no, listen, you got to be patient with him. He's fucking scared.
Yeah,
like don't yell at him.
But at this point though, by the time like Hot Rod's there, he's like, yo, we need that fucking Micron right now. Like, give it to me. Give me the Micron. And Rad's like, all right, listen. I need to explain to you why the Vietnam War draft was bad now.
It's like, what the fuck? What if he doesn't want to fight? Like, are you gonna make him fight? And Hotshot's like, I mean, we don't like it either, but to beat the Decepticons, we kind of need the Minicons.
But to beat the communists, we need to draft the Microns, yes.
And Rad's just like, well, that seems like bullshit. But at this point, Blastoff, probably inspired by Red Alert taking a fucking bullet for him, kind of wanders off, and everyone's just like, what the hell is he doing? And he sings a lovely song.
Have you, hey, listen to Daft Punk's Get Lucky if you have the chance. Song of the Summer.
Listen to Daft Punk's Get Lucky at like 0.75 speed.
It does sound like a Daft Punk song, though.
It does. And everyone is just like stops dead to listen to this Minicon song. And I think
Micron no
Hotshot
Naku Koroni.
the Hotshot just goes like, that's really bizarre. What is he doing?
Yeah, from the people who brought you Umineko and Higurashi, it's when Microns cry.
So by his song, he awakens the other two blaster Minicons. One of them is already on the beach, luckily. And the other one, as we saw earlier, is actually on the moon.
Oh, well, I need to... You're right, that's right. No, never mind. It happens very shortly after this.
It happens very quickly. Like, we see them awaken first. And then, like...
What else?
They pop out.
Yeah. Something else also awakens, and there is a reaction into Starsaber and the Cosmotector, where... the Microns now make Optimus and Megatron kiss, like smashing two Barbie dolls together.
They do. They draw them together so, the sword is touching the shield, and both of them are just like, what is happening? What is going on here? And yeah, there's a huge beam of light that shoots out from both of them. But after that's done, in a really funny moment, Megatron just uses the Starsaber to, like, whack the shield out of Optimus's hand. It's like, oh, well, hey, I guess, I guess the Starsaber really is on my side, because it drew you right to me.
Yeah, you're in the zone. And as soon as the shield is gone, he's like, time to bisect you!
And he does. Thankfully, bisecting Jet Optimus is non-fatal. It is, however, very bad for Optimus.
Yeah, because... rather than get hit by the Starsaber unprotected, Jet Convoy separates back into Jetfire and Optimus. And Jetfire is okay for like 2 seconds before Megatron starts shooting the shit out of him. Though why he doesn't just hit him with the Starsaber again is... whatever. But Optimus starts to fall to his untimely death.
Thankfully, the other two Requiem Blaster Minicons are shooting towards his location. The shuttle truck is named Payload, and the satellite, which is shooting down from the moon, is named Astroscope. And he has one of my favorite Minicon designs. We don't see much of him, but we will in the next episode. Regardless, they combine into the Requiem Blaster. And as soon as Megatron, it's Thrust.
It's Thrust, yeah.
Sees this happening, he goes like, "Uh-oh, hey, I think that's the third thing Sideways was telling me about. I better go get that shit."
And the funniest part here is the animation on this, because he like tries to go and he's like about to launch off, but he's like launching off in a T-pose. He's like T-posing to success, and as he like barely makes it off the ground, like Silverbolt grabs his leg and drags him down again.
But of course, he just becomes intangible, because he can do that, and flies towards Optimus, where they fight over the gun for a bit. Optimus pulls the trigger, and like a giant laser nearly blows the Megatron's head off.
Yeah, here's the issue that I have with all of this, actually, with the gun in general. So the gun combines, and Chicago music song, and they both reach for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun, for the gun. But one of them came from the moon. Optimus was falling.
Yeah.
For like...
They just never...
Optimus fell for like 2 minutes.
Astroscope is very fast.
I fucking guess. But I was like, I think I might call horse shit on this one, actually. But, anyway, yeah.
He does fall for quite a long time.
Yeah, Optimus, like, stops his fall by shooting at the ground, which is the ocean, because Rad wouldn't let him destroy the forest, but by Primus, he's gonna fuck up that ocean.
He kills so many fish right here.
Yeah.
Just dead fish all over the place.
And it is so powerful. The blast from the Astro Blaster is so powerful that it creates a circle without water where Optimus stands at the end, and the water is being pushed away from this circle where the blast landed for like a minute afterwards. Pretty cool shit. Probably caused the natural disaster in a Southeast Asian country.
Those minicon weapons are no fucking joke. They shouldn't fuck around with them, but we're fucking around with them.
We're fucking around, and we'll see if we find out.
Oh, I hope we don't find out. But yeah, we end this thing with Rad just kind of saying like, yeah, no, we thought that the minicons were afraid of the, fighting, but really what they were afraid of was combining into this fucking thing and it falling into the wrong hands. Because clearly this gun is extremely powerful. So yeah, and yeah, Optimus is just standing there, posing cool. He's got his gun, which, by the way, the Requiem Blaster is the only minicon weapon that doesn't, like, kind of have a smoothed over appearance when it's combined. Like, you can see the composite minicons that make it up. It doesn't get, like, it doesn't glow like the Star Saber, and it doesn't get smoothed over like the Skybeam Shield, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, that is the end of this episode.
I will say, in general, the gun designs in the show are just very funny. They all look like Nerf guns.
This one especially.
This one is just like someone stuck a plunger on a stick or whatever.
And that's the most powerful gun in the universe.
And it's the most powerful gun. It's sort of like the TF2 approach to guns.
It is. Yeah, the balance of power has irrevocably shifted. The third minicon weapon is in play. And we got a big boy here now. It's big boy season.
I like big boys. Even bigger boys. Okay. We have some questions this week.
We do have some questions. Nothing on Twitter, but we got quite a few on Discord, which you should join.
Which you should still join. Starting off from Casey Cosmotector. Who's your favorite lad who is large?
Bowser. Love that guy. He's big.
He is big.
He's very big. Especially in Bowser's Fury, he's very big.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I think it has to be like a big guy and not a big robot who is piloted. It can't be a Gundam.
Yeah.
Because those aren't technically guys.
Who's my favorite guy who is big? I think it actually might be Skyfire.
He is pretty big.
I mean, in G1, he was notably large.
Yes, he was large enough to have other people ride around inside him.
So, I'm a big fan of Skyfire. Who else is large and in charge that I really enjoy? Yeah, that's like the one that immediately comes to mind. I guess maybe Al Elric.
Oh, he is very big. He can also carry around people inside him.
He can, mostly animals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go with those two.
My Final Fantasy XIV character, Sunset Carnation. She's real big.
Yeah.
Max height, Femro. He's like 7'5". How about you read this next one from Cassarachne?
Sure. Are you giving this to me now that you know I know who these people are?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
From Cass, we have if the Best Friend Squad and Super Pal Trio were Cybertronians, what would their alt modes be? Hard mode, no beast mode forms.
Cass, thank you for this. Thank you for this gift.
Oh boy.
For me.
I'm gonna make Bo Perceptor.
See, I was thinking Entrapta would be Perceptor. She would be some kind of scientific.
Entrapta's Brainstorm, baby.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, yeah, that's their like personalities. But I'm thinking about alt modes. I'm thinking about like what would their
Oh, you're right.
What
You're
befits their
right.
personalities.
You're right. What would their alt modes be? Shit. I was thinking of the characters because Entrapta literally is Brainstorm.
Yes. Scorpio would obviously be either a tank or some kind of really bulky construction equipment.
But she's high class. She's a princess.
Oh, that's true. A very fancy looking tank with grabby arms. Catra's a sports car. It's obvious. He's like a high performance fucking Jaguar or something.
Adora's a muscle car.
Oh yeah, she's like a fucking Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
Something bulky and reliable that makes lots of noise. Glimmer, I feel like is like a very sleek jet.
Glimmer.
Maybe not sleek jet. Maybe she's like a bomber. I think she flies.
Glimmer, I agree, flies. I almost see her more as like something that floats, though. You know what I mean?
Or like a helicopter.
Maybe more. Yeah, maybe more like a helicopter. Maybe a rotary of some sort than a
hovercraft.
That's what I was actually thinking.
Yeah, like a hovercraft. I think Bo's
a gunformer.
Yes.
Bo's a gunformer.
Turns into a bow.
Yeah, Bo's a gunformer. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hey, remember that time in G1 when they were fighting the Insecticons who had cloned themselves infinitely?
Mm-hmm.
And Optimus like forcibly turned Megatron into a gun because he was unconscious and shot him at Bombshell?
Yep.
I think about that a lot because it's really weird.
I think about the fact that there are like many instances of Starscream shooting Megatron in G1 and how weird that is for a number of reasons.
He's his go-to guy to shoot him as a gun.
Yeah.
It's like him and Soundwave, but it's usually
Starscream. And that says, again, it all goes back to like the same stuff. DD, I fucking want to kill you, but your pussy game immaculate.
Ugh.
DD, I can't fucking stand you. This food nasty as hell, but your pussy game immaculate. That's literally, listen, that's the only reason Megatron kept telling Tarn he had to take Starscream off the list.
Yeah.
There's no other possible explanation for that than Starscream's pussy game just being too bomb.
That is truly the only explanation for that.
Okay. Also from Cass. Whom amongst the cast is low-key a successful singer? Which is a one-hit wonder? Who is super popular in a country outside the U.S.?
That last one is Cyclonus.
Fuck yeah. He becomes like a meme after a Eurovision performance.
I think either Smokescreen or Jetfire to me are the ones that stand out to me as like they might have a good singing voice.
Yeah.
Smokescreen is some kind
Thrust is a one-hit wonder.
Thrust is a one-hit wonder, yeah. I feel like Smokescreen did like, he's got some like folksy blues songs because he's been around the block
he's like a Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Jetfire is like in a fucking hair metal band or something. Or in a punk rock band. Or a pop punk band. Cause he's not quite that 80s. He's much more bro-y, Jetfire is. Carshamello asks, what's your favorite fictional gun? I mean, obviously, the coolest one to look at is probably the Psycho-Pass gun, even though I've never watched Psycho-Pass. That is a cool gun.
I'm gonna say it's the portal gun.
Oh, man, the portal gun is good. Think about TF2 you brought up earlier. Like, there are lots of very cool guns in that. Or cool or, like, funny. I've always quite liked how the default stock rocket launcher from TF2 looks. It just has a very iconic look about it. While it is like set apart.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
What the fuck was that?
That was an autoplay ad on a website that I went to. So.
Thank you, websites. Web 3.0 is great. But yeah, no, I think like the stock rocket launcher from TF2 is pretty great.
I will give like a special shout out to Star Trek Disruptors as well.
Are that different from phasers?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, those are pretty cool.
Or no, they are different from phasers. I think disruptors are the like Kling. They're like the evil one that are used by like Romulans, Klingons, etc. That actually cause big damage.
You can't set those motherfuckers to stun.
Yeah. And also, I will
Wow.
give a shout out to Megatron himself.
Yeah?
As we just talked
It's a
about,
very cool gun.
talked about Starscream shooting him.
Like, it's a really cool gun. Horn My Starscream asks, which regular-sized or small Cybertronian would you grant the boon of becoming huge as fuck? How would that affect their general disposition?
Swerve.
Oh my
Swerve.
god.
It would give him an ego to match.
Yeah, I think it might make him more normal, actually. It's sort of proportional effect.
Yeah. Either Swerve or Tailgate, and all Tailgate would do would top Cyclonus.
He already got really strong that
I know.
one time.
He already does it, but he would just do it better.
I mean, Ultra Magnum was already really big, but they made him even bigger that one time as well.
Right.
He was so big he had mounted turrets on his arms
Yeah,
that
listen.
people could sit in.
Listen, when your outlier ability is being a load bearer. Yeah, but
I was gonna say rung, but that also happened.
I'm just gonna stick with Swerve. I think that's hilarious. Fundamentally hilarious.
It is the funniest one. His voice should also get extremely deep as well.
If we're talking like G1, I would have to go with Brawn. Because woof, that would be so good and funny.
Just a big motherfucker. I kind of like him being the small guy who's really strong, though. That is
I know,
also
but
very
he's
funny.
also so annoying. Can you imagine Brawn, who is huge and even stronger, and still annoying? From Cass again. If there was a Transformer who was a tall vampire lady, who would have been the most thirsty for her?
She already exists. Her name is Arachnid, and the answer is
Yeah,
Ursula.
Great.
Solved.
Oh, fuck. Alright, if you were to recast G Gundam from Overlord Bunny, our final question. If you were to recast G Gundam with Transformers, who would be who? I feel like I'm contractually obligated to
Yeah, this one's for you.
answer this one. Okay. Domon is Starscream. Which I guess makes Rain Alexa. I don't like that. Yeah. Domon Starscream, Rain's Alexa, Megatron is Master Asia? I guess?
It's only fitting, I
In
guess.
this? Or, yeah, Megatron's Master Asia. No. Megatron is Kyoji. I think Devastator would be Master Asia, but he's not actually.
Okay.
No, Double Face is no. Okay, never mind. Megatron is Master Asia. Double Face is Kyoji. That's good. That works.
Thrust.
Thrust is the Hong Kong president.
Who's the horse?
Who's Foon Psyche? Shit. Fucking
Demolisher. Oh, why?
fucking Jetfire.
There you go.
Okay. Let's talk about the other members of the Shuffle Alliance. Hot Rod is fucking. Oh God, why am I blanking on his name now? Damn it, Shuffle Alliance.
A blur.
1 second, I got this.
It's like a cool.
Yeah. Okay. So Hot Rod is Sai Sai Shi. Grap is Argo. I'm gonna say. Who is George?
See, this is beautiful because I don't know anything about G Gundam,
Yeah.
so all these names are just like smashing against my brain.
Sai Sai Shi is Sai Sai Shi is like the 16-year-old Chinese representative who's like based on Sun Wukong.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So that's Hot
definitely
Rod. Argo Gulski is the Russian representative who was a space pirate.
See, that fits more for Scavenger, I think. Because Scavenger used to be like a mercenary who fought on both sides.
Yeah, but
Oh, shit, what if...
oh yeah, no,
Scavenger
I'll
had,
give
like,
that.
a
Yes,
thick
you're right.
Russian
I'll give that to
accent?
Devastator. That's fine. I'll make God, would Scrap be Chippity? No, okay. No. I got this. Ratchet is Georges, who is the French representative, Georges Desand, who's like a member of nobility and also gay. And
Yeah, it fits.
then I think Silverbolt would be Chibity, who is the American representative, and just like, I'm walking here, New Yorker.
Hey, I'm walking. Come on.
So there, that's what I'll say. And yeah. Oh, so Alexa's reign, but I have to think about, for Christ's sake, who would be Allenby. Allenby is the Sweden representative who pilots the Gundam that looks like Sailor Venus.
Cyclonus.
No. Truly,
Do you already forget a place for Thrust? Who's Thrust?
Gross. No,
Where's
absolutely
Thrust
not.
in all this? I'm always asking, where does Thrust fit
I told
in
you,
all this?
Thrust is the president of Hong Kong.
There we go, okay.
Anyway.
We're real low on characters. We'd have to, like, reach into the future to find more.
Yeah.
Which aren't that many left, actually.
Those are, he's Wong Yun Fat. Anyway, yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Alright, that makes sense. Well, while you draw up those charts for the G Gundam recast, we have been Prime Cuts. You can find us on Twitter at Prime Cuts Pod, where you can also find the link to our Discord in the Twitter description, in the links section of our Twitter. Go join it, so you too can look at the obscenely shaped thrust head. If you want, I wouldn't recommend it. But it is there.
This is both a threat and a fact.
This is a threat and a fact. You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Smoocher. You can find my other projects, such as the She-Ra 2018 companion podcast that I do with my friend Jane over at Podcast to Power. You can find the future site of our next project, a Final Fantasy XIV comprehensive companion podcast over at Heidelin Radio. And I am also on Disney Minus, where I am being dragged through the muck of the House of Mouse. Next episode is on the Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis Freaky Friday, and that is at Disney Minus Pod on Twitter. How are you enjoying She-Ra, by the way? Where are you at?
I'm in like the middle of season 4, so
You cut out.
Oh, I'm in the middle of season 4.
Oh, you're in the shed now. That's my favorite season because everyone is having a really bad time.
Yeah.
It's great.
I just got to the point where Scorpia said that Cat was a bad friend. So.
Yeah. Oh, that episode's so good. That season's so good.
Yep.
Great stuff.
Yeah. I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Twitter at Optimum Prime, which is my funny robot internet joke. And you can listen to my other podcast, Pot of Greed, which you can find on Twitter at Pot of Greed Cast, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh! We're in season 3. We're recording our episode 169, Nice Tomorrow, which is going to be a very special fan fiction episode. And you can find both that and this podcast on Noisepace, which you can find at noisepace.xyz. And there's a bunch of other really good shows on there. I'm not going to list them this time, but something for everyone. Follow our Discord again. You can find a link to that Discord in the URL of section of our bio on Twitter, or in the description of this and every other episode that we have. I will not stop talking about it. But until then, I am going to sing a little karaoke song with my friends. Transform and roll out.
I am going to transform into 3 distinct boats and attach myself to my best friend's arms, and then we will sort of kind of fall over and not be able to move very well because it looks really unwieldy.
Peach.
Peach.